Cognitive readiness. That's another one that you have to chat GPT or Google, In 2016, there was a report by Pearson who interviewed, I think, about 1,500 CEOs from all over the world, 2016. And they asked them, what do you think is the most important trait or ability that a CEO should develop, skill? And Pearson came up with this concept called cognitive readiness. And when I read about it, I was like, it sounds really cool. I have no idea what it is. It turns out that it's actually a pretty simple concept in theory, very hard to do in practice. And I learned about cognitive readiness by watching in action one of the best leaders that I have ever seen, Charlie Fine, when he was the dean of my previous school. And he says that cognitive readiness is the ability to deal intellectually, conceptually, and emotionally with whatever turn of events might come. Intellectually, conceptually, and emotionally. I did tell you it's hard. So, in a way, cognitive readiness is a combination of healthy paranoia and systems thinking. What do I mean by it? What's the difference between regular paranoia and healthy paranoia? Well, regular paranoia, it's all about thinking about the worst scenario, right? And sort of emotionally being in that space of terror, of concern, of like doomsday. Healthy paranoia is still thinking about what's the worst thing that could happen, but preparing for it. And it's not just operational preparation, but it also requires, as leaders, as managers, to mentally prepare for that. So when it happens, it doesn't hit you like a wave. Think a little bit about how many of us were truly ready when the first lockdown was announced, even though there were so many hints before there were so many messages, there were so many insights. The second part of cognitive readiness, along with healthy paranoia, is this thing that I learned from MIT called systems thinking or system dynamics. System dynamics is actually a very mathematical model. It's part of the sharp skills in my research. And system dynamics is understanding how every single component in a system has an impact on other components of a system. And if one gets affected, the entire system gets affected. Think climate change. If one thing in the entire ecosystem gets severely affected, for example, knock on, I don't have any wood here, but knock on everything. Please do knock on wood, those who are watching. If something happens to bees, we all know for a fact that the entire ecosystem gets affected. And you think, really, it's just a tiny little insect or ants or, something in water changes. We all know for a fact that if something in your blood changes, the entire system gets affected. So that's what system dynamics study. So cognitive readiness, once again, is this combination of scenario planning, if you want, system dynamics, so you understand how the scenarios work, and then be prepared for them. So it's obviously a lot of risk assessment, risk analysis, but it's not just the sort of objective and rational aspect of it. It's also telling CEOs, leaders, managers that you have to have an emotional preparation, an intellectual preparation, and then all the operational and business preparations. It's extraordinarily hard to do, but it's very, very possible. It brings both sides of the brain, the thinking fast, the thinking slow, the feeling fast, the feeling slow. In a way, the reason why I left cognitive readiness for the end, it's because probably is the skill that encompasses all the other skills. That's what cognitive readiness is.